Dear students, today I will discuss in continuation of the previous one, that is bronchial asthma, pneumonia. Today your subject is chronic bronchitis. It can be defined clinically as persistent cough with production of sputum at least for 3 months for 2 consecutive years without any identifiable causes. 2 major factors are involved. One is smoking. It is responsible for more than 90% of the causes. Others are environmental pollutions like dust from the grains, cottons and silica. Dominant pathology features are mucus hypersecretion and persistent inflammations. When chronic bronchitis persists for years together, then it leads to lung function test abnormal, leads to cor pulmonale, that means right heart failure due to lung cause, causes atypical metaplasia, dysplasia, and it becomes a rich soil for cancerous transformation, that is carcinoma lungs. Then we follow the pathogenesis. The primary factor is long standing irritation by inhaled substances such as tobacco smoke, and again it is responsible for more than 50% patients are the smokers, and dust from the grains, cottons, etc. 3 changes are occurs. What are these? Mucus hypersecretions, and then inflammations. What happened? Inhalant cause cellular damage, and long standing inflammations causing fibrosis. And another is infections, though it does not cause chronic bronchitis, but it causes acute exacerbations. So, if we see under microscope, that is histologically, what happened? Enlargement of the mucus secreting glands, goblet cell hyperplasia, chronic inflammations, and bronchoalveolar wall fibrosis. If we see the pictures, here there is a mucus in the lumen, excess mucus productions, and goblet cell hyperplasia is also there, and thickening of the basement membranes, and also the mononuclear cell infiltrations. And in the B, you see that the metaplastic changes, squamous metaplasia, normally lined by pseudostratified columnar epitheliums. Here it is replaced by squamous epitheliums, and submucosal glandular hypertrophy in case of chronic bronchitis. And these squamous metaplasia lead to dysplasia. Ultimately, it may also cause carcinoma. Then next we will discuss about the emphysema. It is a chronic obstructive airway disease characterized by enlargement of the air spaces distal to the terminal bronchioles. What are the causes? Again, the cause is smoking. Another important cause is alpha 1 antitrypsin deficiency, and other cause cold, dust, etc. If you classify the major types of emphysema, then it is centriacinar, panacinar, paraseptals and irregulars. Mainly the centriacinar is very common and it is involved the proximal part. You see the proximal part of the acini, whereas the distal alveoli is normal. And centriacinar emphysema is usually associated with chronic bronchitis. Panacinar emphysema, entire acinus uniformly enlarged, and it is associated with alpha 1 antitrypsin deficiency. You see the picture, this is centriacinar, that is proximal part is involved, distal part is escapes, but in panacinar whole acinus is involved. So, the panacinar, this is associated with the alpha 1 antitrypsin deficiency and this one associated with the chronic bronchitis. So, what happened in the bronchitis, there is a increased mucus secretion and inflammations, but in emphysema what happened, the destruction and enlargement of the air spaces. There are two imbalances are responsible for the emphysema. One is protease antiprotease imbalance and second one is oxidant and antioxidant imbalance. So, if we understand the pathogenesis of emphysema, what happened? The protease derived from the neutrophils which cause the destruction of the lung parenchyma. The normal function of alpha 1 antitrypsin is to inhibit trypsin or protease. So, what happened? Cigarette smoking increases the number of leukocytes, both neutrophils and macrophages in the lung, and release their protease containing granules and increases the proteolytic activity. So, cigarette smoking, how it causes the damage? Alpha 1 antitrypsins is a glycoprotein normally synthesized in the liver and distributed in the blood, tissues and macrophages. If there is a low level of alpha 1 antitrypsins, cannot prevent tissue destructions and lead to emphysema. Another is oxidant and antioxidant imbalance. So, lung contains antioxidants such as superoxidase dismutase, glutathione that keeps oxidative damage to minimum. Tobacco smokes contain abundant reactive oxygen species, that is free radicals, which depletes the antioxidant, thereby inciting tissue damage. You see the pictures, tobacco which causes the neutrophil, activates the neutrophils in the lungs from the blood vessels, and these neutrophils secretes the free radicals. These free radicals inactivates the alpha 1 antitrypsins, and then the neutrophil enzymes causes tissue damage. Similarly, the macrophage enzyme also causes tissue damage, thereby leading to the emphysema. Next is the bronchiectasis. It can be defined as a permanent dilatations of the bronchi or bronchioles. Why? Due to destruction of smooth muscles and elastic tissues by chronic necrotizing agents. In short, bronchiectasis means abnormal dilatation of the bronchi. It may develop due to bronchial obstructions, due to tumor or foreign body, in congenital conditions if the patient suffering from the cystic fibrosis, or infectious agents, that is necrotizing pneumonia, and other causes of COPD, rheumatoid arthritis and SLE also causes bronchiectasis. So, in case of bronchiectasis, what happened? You see the picture, that is increased mucus in the lumens and damage of the cell wall, thereby obstructions. And lastly, your chapter is very important for Viva and written also, the lung tumors. You must have to know the lung tumors. A variety of benign and malignant tumors may arise in the lungs, but most common, that is more than 95% of the cases are the carcinomas, and few, that is about 5% are bronchial carcinoids. Other also tumor occurs. So, if we classify the lung tumors, then the tumor arises from the epithelial origins. If it is a benign, then it is a papilloma and adenoma. If it is a malignant, then more than 95% cause is the bronchogenic carcinoma. Among the bronchogenic carcinoma, very common is adenocarcinoma, squamous cell carcinoma, large cell carcinoma and adenosquamous cell carcinoma. But it also occurs in the lungs, the other tumors, that is lymphoma. Among the primaries, and secondary, anywhere from the body may deposit in the lungs, the secondary tumors. So, the secondary common mostly are from the carcinoma of the bowel, carcinoma of the breast, thyroid carcinoma, kidney carcinoma, pancreas and malignant tumors of the liver. All these are metastasized to the lungs. Soft tissues, though are not very common, but rarely occurs soft tissue tumors in the lungs in case of benigns, lipoma, fibroma, leiomyoma, hemangioma, lymphangioma, and very rare of malignant soft tissue tumors in the lungs are liposarcoma, fibrosarcoma, leiomyosarcoma. These are very rare, but you must not forget the bronchogenic carcinoma. If you see the chart, yellow part is the adenocarcinoma, and cause the adenocarcinoma is more than 50% cause is adenocarcinoma in the lung tumors, and among them 75% cause is the smokers, and adenocarcinoma also occurs in the non-smokers. But in case of small cell carcinoma, 99.96 or 97%, 99.97% or 9% small cell carcinoma occurs in the smokers, and 0.1% occurs in the non-smokers. So, the smokers causes the small cell carcinoma, and the future of this small cell carcinoma is very bad, worse prognosis. And others variety of lung carcinoma is a squamous cell carcinoma. It is also more than 90% cause is a smokers, and others non-smokers, very few percentage of non-smokers. And about 10 to 15% is a large cell carcinoma. It also occurs in the smokers and very few in the non-smokers. So, if you see the pictures, that is an X-ray, you see a one localized circumscribed area in the X-ray. What should be the lesions? It may be the lesion is carcinoma, it may be a benign tumors, it may be a tuberculosis infectious agent. So, you have to confirm what type of lesions this. So, if you follow the case, it may be case of carcinoid tumors, it may be a non-small cell carcinoma. You see the picture, non-small cell carcinoma. One picture is given, those who smokes tobacco smokers are lung like this and healthy lung is like this in case of adults. In X-ray, that is the carcinous tumor, smoker, lung, there is a tumors, transverse sections of CT, we find that there is a lesions, tumorous lesions. Whether this lesion is a malignant, or it is a benign, or it is an infection, then what we have to do? We have to do a fine needle aspiration cytology, image guided, CT guided. This is a book picture. CT guided, the needle is introduced to the lung, tumorous area, the tip of the lesion is here. This one is a book pictures, and this one is I have done my pictures. A lady of 40 years, Basona, has a lesion in that lung. CT guided FNO was done, and this tumorous lesion is not a malignant tumor, but it is a consolidation, it is a tuberculous lesions. So, WHO classification of the bronchogenic carcinoma. So, worldwide accepted WHO classification is the small cell carcinoma. Why the only 14% is in the top of the list? Small cell carcinoma is the very worst prognosis. Before identifying the primary site, it metastasized to the distant sites. It may occur in the medial or the peripheral part of the lung, but the prognosis is very bad. Second, surgery cannot be allowed, and treatment, radiotherapy or chemotherapy not responded well. So, when you hear or diagnosed a case of a small cell carcinoma, the future is very limited, that he will survive only 4 to 5 months or 6 months maximum. In case of non-small cell carcinoma, the lumbar list majority occurs the non-small cell list. Previously, I told when I show you the picture, adenocarcinoma, small cell carcinoma, that is squamous cell carcinoma, large cell carcinoma and adenosquamous cell carcinoma. Among them the best prognosis is the squamous cell carcinoma, because if the early diagnosed, surgery is possible, chemotherapy and radiotherapy is well responded. Majority cause is smokers, but small cell carcinoma cause occurs in 99.9% in the smokers. If you see the such type of charts, so small cell carcinoma and rest of the non-small cell carcinoma. So this is a WHO classification. You must memorize these classifications and you produce it in the exam, both in the written and in the viva. So if you compare between the small cell and non-small cell carcinoma, so etiologic relationships, tobacco smoking and non-small cell carcinoma, tobacco smoking, at the same times other pollution is also important in the causation etiology. Pattern যদি আমি করি, that is diffuse sheets in case of non-small cells, that is squamous or glandular differentiations. Nuclear cytoplasm is scanty, cytoplasm is abundant. Neuroendocrine marker is present in case of small cell carcinoma, but absent in case of non-small cell carcinoma. Mucin is absent in non-small cell small cell carcinoma, it is present in adenocarcinoma. And both cases, genetic abnormalities, that is mutation the p53 and retinoblastoma gene, tumor suppressor gene mutated strongly in case of small cell carcinoma, but also occurs in along with p53, p63, p40, KRAS mutations. And non-small cell carcinoma, surgical resection is possible, radiotherapy and chemotherapy, but in small cell carcinoma, surgical resection is not possible, only radio chemotherapy, but prognosis is very poor, but non-small cell carcinoma prognosis is good, better. So adenocarcinoma, the malignant neoplasm, you may be asked what is adenocarcinoma? So the in general pathology, malignant tumor of epithelial origin. No, malignant tumor of glandular epithelium, one, and second, epithelial origins when forming glandular structures, then we call it adenocarcinoma. Mostly peripherally located, slowly growing, and tends to metastasize widely at early stage. Majority express TTF, thyroid transcription factor 1, in case of adenocarcinoma. So varieties histologically, gland acinar type, papillary type, micropapillary type, solid and mucinous type. So another important in immunohistochemistry, positive for TTF1 in case of adenocarcinoma. You see the adenocarcinoma looks like in the morphology. So another is small cell carcinoma is very important. A small cell having a small nuclei, scant cytoplasms, but small cells, this cell is smaller than what? A name is a small cell, that means the cells is about 25 micron. So it is smaller than 3 times the normal lymphocytes. This tumor occurs both in the hilus and periphery. So there is no pre-invasive phase. P53 and retinoblastoma tumor suppressor genes are frequently mutated. Most aggressive tumor metastasize widely and incurable by surgical means. And highly malignant tumor, so it is immunohistochemically chemistry positive for CD56. Necrosis is present, mitotic count is high, and the cells is about 25 micron, that is resting lymphocyted 3 গুণের সমান almost. If you see in the FNA, there looks like not so ugly that usually seen in the adenocarcinoma, but their behavior, their pattern of lesion is very devastating. So having salt and pepper patterns the nucleus. And lastly, the term I will discuss, the paraneoplastic syndromes. These are remote effect due to ectopic hormones production. Why? Hyponatremia due to ADH production, Cushing syndrome due to ACTH production, hypercalcemia due to parathormone, and calcitonin hypocalcemia. Gonadotrophic hormones gynecomastia, carcinoid syndrome due to serotonins, and hematological abnormalities found in case of leukemoid reactions. So, lastly, cancer metastasized to the lungs. So, a big list, almost all tumors, that is sarcoma, prostate, neuroblastoma, kidney tumor, colon, breast, bladder cancer, all metastasized to the lung. But which tumors metastasize to the others, from the lung to others? The lymph nodes, livers, bones, brain and adrenals. The lung cancer metastasizes to the most common organs, to the lung, to the lymph node, to the liver, to the bones, to the brain and adrenal glands. And the lab diagnosis of tumor in the lungs, if we do the blood, usually find the ESR will be high. Radiological examinations, bronchoscopic examinations and cytopathological examination, what usually we do is sputum for malignant cells, bronchial brushing and lavage and CT guided FNAC. And histopathological examinations, we obtain tissue from bronchoscopic, lobectomy, thoracic surgery. And immunohistochemistry we do for CD56 for small cell carcinoma, CK56 for squamous cell carcinoma and TTF1 for adenocarcinoma. Thank you all to you.